大家好，欢迎来到我的小博客。Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Victoria and we're learning Chinese together here. In this video, I wanted to share with you my top 10 favorite Chinese proverbs. The best way to impress Chinese people with your language skills and with how well you understand their culture is to fire a proper saying or a proper 成语 in the right context. So let's start. The first one that I picked is like 100% useful, and any person who is learning Chinese language, who is talking to Chinese people, will need this proverb almost immediately. 入乡随俗. Literally, it means enter a village, follow the custom, or when in Rome, do as the Romans do. If you have ever been to China, you definitely heard this proverb or at least found yourself in a situation when you actually needed this proverb and could absolutely use it. Our cultures are so different that you can use this proverb on almost every corner. Even if Chinese people are always very curious about foreign cultures, they always ask you, how is this, how is that in your country? It's always welcome to be respectful to their customs, even if something looks weird to you and you don't do it this way. You know, one of the most striking differences that I feel when I communicate with Chinese people is how different our understanding of privacy is. For example, for Chinese people, it's absolutely okay to talk about financial matters. They can easily ask you how much you make in a month, how much your house costs, and so on and so forth. But they are usually very reluctant to talk about their feelings. And for us, this is completely the opposite. We more easily share the way we feel, the way something makes us feel, rather than money matters. But if you think about it, you can just 入乡随俗, you can follow their culture, you can follow their custom, and actually take advantage of that. There are a lot of things that you can learn if you play by their rules. So remember, 入乡随俗. Our next saying is 三人行必有我师. This is probably the most famous proverb by Confucius, or at least one of the most famous. It means when I'm walking with two other people, there is always a teacher among them for me. There is a continuation of that phrase, and it goes like 则其善者而从之，其不善者而改之. So it means that you can always learn from other people. If they are good, you can follow them. If they're bad, you can reflect and try to change those faults in yourself. Personally, for me, it means be humble, be modest, and remember that there is a lot to learn and you can always find people to learn from. The next one that I love is 读万卷书不如行万里路. Reading 10,000 books is not as good as walking 10,000 li road. Or as we know it, you don't learn how to ride a bike by reading about it. This one is very special for me because I am a massive nerd. I love reading, I love learning, and when it comes to foreign languages, I love learning those aspects that may seem boring to other people, like writing characters, one and the same character in a row, or doing grammar exercises. I love those things. It's like meditation for me. But in fact, nothing can beat real-life communication, and you don't learn a language by doing grammar exercises. You don't learn Chinese by writing characters. You need to go out there, practice, use that knowledge in real life, talk to real people. I know it's really easy for some people, but it doesn't come that naturally to me, so I always remind myself that reading 10,000 books is not as good as actually going and talking to real people. And it works not just for languages, but for many other things. If you want to be good at something, you need to have hands-on experience instead of reading about it or watching a video about it. 大处着眼 小处着手. It literally means apply your eyes to the big picture and your hands to the small mundane tasks. Or as we know it, think big, act small. Next one is 冰冻三尺 非一日之寒. It takes more than one cold day to freeze a river 1 meter deep. Or Rome was not built in a day. I am literally thinking about this proverb every time I am making these YouTube videos because it takes an enormous amount of time and I don't get immediate result. I don't see immediate result. I think for most of us the expectations are much higher than the actual traction that we see on YouTube, and so sometimes I feel really discouraged and demotivated, and then I remember this proverb and maybe I should just get a poster with that proverb back here. And there is another one which is very similar. 万事开头难. Everything is difficult at the start. Next one is super famous. It is probably the most famous Chinese proverb, and you've definitely seen it on those motivation pictures and whatnot. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And in Chinese it goes like 千里之行始于足下. By the way, these proverbs are a great way to learn the old Chinese measurement system. So you have this li, which is 500 meters. So 千里之行 is a journey of 500 kilometers. This proverb is falsely attributed to Confucius. It's actually from Dao De Jing by Lao Tzu. And the whole line goes like 合抱之木生于好墨九层之台起于累途千里之行始于足下. A huge tree grows from a tiny seedling. A 9-story tower starts from piling up the soil. And a 1,000-li journey starts from a single step. Okay, so next one goes like 风无常顺兵无常胜. So wind is not always favorable and the soldier is not always victorious. I love this one as well, and I can also relate this one to my YouTube journey because when everything is growing, when everything is fine, it is always easy, very easy to assume that it's gonna go this smoothly all the way. But unfortunately, a rainy day always comes, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So it's always good to remind yourself that you need to be prepared for setbacks because they will always come. But at the same time, the good thing is that bad days don't last forever either. Okay, next one is 演师出高徒. A strict teacher produces a brilliant student. This one is very controversial these days, right? Because of course it comes from the Chinese culture where the teacher is always right. The teacher is the ultimate authority. But in the modern Western schools, the student is always the center of the process, right? And I agree that learners succeed and achieve more when they are interested, when they are motivated. But at the same time, I feel that we came to a point when we think that school must always be fun. It must always be a pleasure. And I don't really think that's the case because learning is sometimes it's like training your muscles. So you have to stretch them a little bit further than it is comfortable to achieve the result that you want. And that requires discipline. And this is where 演师, a strict teacher, is needed to guide you to be responsible for your own results and to be disciplined. So I think that this 演师出高徒, this one is very much justified. Well, at least for me, this was always the case. I always excelled in subjects where we had the strictest teachers. And the last one for today is 失败是成功之母. Failure is the mother of success. This is a very famous proverb and also a very simple one, right? It's very easy to remember because it uses modern language. Okay, now you can apply these proverbs in many different contexts, and I guarantee you're gonna get lots of compliments from native speakers. They're gonna be like, 哇，你中文好厉害. Okay, that was it from me for today. 谢谢大家耐心观看，下次再见，拜拜。